Hey, everybody, welcome to the Bearded Guy Podcast. Hope you're doing well today. Hope all is good in your world as always. Now, today we're going to be talking about something that really excited me, and it's something that I had wanted to do for so long and finally had the opportunity to do so. Now, during the pandemic, or kind of height of the pandemic, if you will, my family and I took a trip to Savannah, Georgia. Now, a little backstory. We love Savannah. It's one of those places we try to go to as often as possible. That and Hilton Head, South Carolina. And the thing about that is they're so close together, we can do both. So we love Savannah. We love River Street and just exploring the squares and walking around and looking at all the architecture and all of the history in Savannah, Georgia is just fascinating to me. Now, one of the trips that I wanted to take was to go to Bonaventure Cemetery. And I've been wanting to do this for some time. Now, Bonaventure Cemetery was kind of made famous and kind of put on the map. Not really put on the map, but it was made famous by the movie Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil because it kind of brings that into play during the movie and, of course, in the book. Now, Bonaventure Cemetery is one of those trips that if you do decide to take it, I would suggest that you take the guided tour the first time around because there's so many historical events and so many famous people that are buried there that you really want to kind of soak all of that in. Now, after you take that guided tour and you do happen to go back, then you can walk. You can just get out. It's open to the public every day. You can explore the cemetery at your leisure, and there's a lot of cool things in the cemetery. So let me show you some pictures that we took whenever we were there. Just going around with the guided tour, they took us to all the kind of hot spots, if you will, and I just kind of got out of the cart every now and then just to take some pictures. But the thing about Bonaventure Cemetery is this, it began as a private family-owned plantation, but it is now a public cemetery where you can buy a lot or buy a plot, if you will, to be buried or interned in Bonaventure for yourself if you want to be. And it was originally a private plantation, and the name of the private plantation, was Evergreen. Now, of course, over the course of time, Evergreen switched hands and kind of was bought and sold and won and lost, if you will. And it was eventually changed to the name Bonaventure. Now, Bonaventure in French means good fortune. Now, one of the things about this cemetery that was really piquing my interest that I wanted to see was the statue of the bird girl, who is also known as Little Wendy. Now, she was made famous by the book Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Unfortunately, because she is such a famous statue, she had to be moved from the cemetery to a museum because people kept stealing pieces from the bird girl statue. So now she is in a museum tucked away nice and safe, and you can go, I don't know the name of the museum, but you can go check her out if you want to, and she is there. So really kind of a letdown. We were really excited to see that part of it, but again, not to be. So that being said, this is one of those trips that if you're into the paranormal and if you're into cemeteries, if you're into history, if you're into these kinds of things, this would be a great trip for you. Myself, I wanted to kind of see something that was paranormal. I mean, that's just kind of what drives me to kind of go there, but that was not to be. Now, they do say that Bonaventure is haunted, much like most of Savannah, because the voodoo kind of culture and the paranormal kind of go hand in hand with the Savannah area. So again, get out and take this trip if you've never been. You will enjoy it. Now, River Street in Savannah is kind of a tourist trap, if you will, with some of the stores there. They're just trying to sell their wares. Again, they are businesses trying to make money like anybody else. But the history, if you stop and just kind of take it all in, it's one of those things that you will find enjoyable when you go to Savannah, Georgia, and you go to Bonaventure Cemetery. So there you go. That's my little take on that. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, if you want to check out the rest of my podcast episodes, go to the Bearded Guy Podcast. This is available wherever you get your podcast. And we do have a lot of content there. And hopefully you'll find something there that entertains you. That is the Bearded Guy Podcast. So go check it out. But as always, thank you for coming by today. It's always my hope that you have a great day, a better day tomorrow, and a wonderful week ahead of you. And until next time.